Hello and welcome my dear students. I am Rohan sir from Mehdi English Medium School. I welcome my all dear 3rd standard little champs once again to science class. My dear little champs, I hope that you are watching my videos daily as if you have sent me, even many students have sent me the homework regularly. I have been noticing the names. I have been even noting down the regular students who are sending the homework with good handwriting and etc. So that is why at the end of every lecture I always request you to send your work, and so that we can note down the names of the students who are doing the regular work. Now that you know that in the previous 2 lectures I gave you the lecture in which I prepared a short approximately 20 minutes of class test which you could even give from your home. The marks and the papers for which many students have sent, that means they have appeared for it, but many students have not yet sent any reward from their side. That means they have not even watched the lectures. So please make sure that when you send us the work, we are noticing your names, we are writing the name with a date. So that means we will just display the name of the students who are doing the work regularly in few days. Now before starting today's lecture, I would like to ask you to take out your textbook and rough book, both the books. So please take out your textbook and rough book, both the books, because today we are going to work with both the books simultaneously. I hope that you have your rough book at least, if not textbook. If you don't have textbook, it's okay. When you get it, you can complete it, but at least take out your rough book. And I know that many students have the textbook. So what are we going to do today? Solving a unit test paper. You will say that, sir, we have done a lot of paper, we have done 2 tests, online test, what else? Now students, this is from your textbook itself. That is why I have asked you to take out your textbook, page number 52. So those who are having textbook, be ready with page number 52, and rough book, please take out the new page. So if you have rough book, please give the heading unit test paper, page number 52. Yes, if you are writing in your rough book, you have to write unit test paper as well as page number. It's okay if you write it in the brackets, because once you get your textbook, you will be able to easily recognize what things you have completed. That is why if you will write page number, once you will get the textbook, you will be able to complete that particular thing in your textbook, because in this unit test paper, other than the question answers, for everything space is given so that you can fill the answers within the textbook itself. Now I hope that you have taken out your textbook, also page number 52. So for those who are writing in the rough book, I hope that you have written this heading unit test paper, page number 52. Write with good handwriting, and even those who have textbook, kindly give today's date anywhere in the right or the left corner, so that even if you are writing in textbook, you will be able to know or able to remember when have you solved it. And then later on, when you send us the photo of whatever you have solved, or to the follow-up teachers, they will be able to note down the date. So now let us solve this unit test paper. If you have the textbook, I hope you understood which page and which test paper I have asked you. Let's get started. Question A. Question A is choose the correct option. So those who are having just rough book, not textbook, they just give the heading question A. Those who are writing in the rough book, just give the heading question A. Below the heading unit test paper, leaving 1 or 2 lines, you can write this heading question A. in which you have to choose the correct option. If you don't write this, it is okay, but this is must, because once you get your textbook you will be able to complete it properly. You will be having the sorted and clear data. Anyways, I hope that you have written this heading question A, and for those who are having textbook, need not have to write in your rough book. So let's get started with question A. Now here question is, one is, which of these is not found in the first aid box? Which of these is not found in the first aid box? Options are A. Bandage, B. Antiseptic cream, C. Scissors, or D. Pencil. Which do you think, students? Which of these things are not found in the first aid box? We have done a whole lot of revision work for this. So please write the answers. Now for the rough book students, those who are having only rough book, you have to just write the answers. No question, no options, nothing. Just kindly write the answers in your rough notebook. Answer number 1, which you feel is the right answer, and then later on when I display you have to check it, because this is a unit test, but we are going to do it like live. So let's see what the correct answer is. Correct answer is pencil. Obviously we cannot find pencil in the first aid box, correct, unless you put it inside the first aid box. Pencil we find in the compass box. Okay, so pencil is the correct option. Please tick the correct option in your textbook, or if you have already ticked, please check it whether you written the correct answer or not. Okay, moving on to next, number 2. Which of these help to keep the house clean? Which of these help to keep the house clean? Options are sunlight and dustbin, insects and flies, cockroaches, or D. rats. So which of these help to keep the house clean? So I hope that you have selected the correct option, because here the option is very clear and transparent. There is nothing to think about. At least if you have the common sense, this you can solve it easily, even if you have not read the chapter. Anyways, the answer is sunlight and dustbins. Now again you see the options, insects and flies, obviously not. Cockroaches, rats, no, these all are the animals and insects. They spoil our house, not keep it clean. So correct answer is sunlight and dustbins. And I hope that you have written the same answer for the students who are writing in the rough book, and for those who are ticking in the textbook, please tick the answer properly. Sunlight and dustbins help us to keep the house clean. Okay, moving on to number 3. Which of these would you wear in summer? Which of these would you wear in summer? Now the options are A. light colored clothes, B. cotton clothes, C. linen clothes, or is it D. all of these? All of these means A, B, C, all the options. If all are correct, you have to select this, or if any one, you can select any of these options. Please think it properly. Which clothes do you wear in summer? Light colored clothes, cotton clothes, linen clothes, or all of these? Okay, I hope that maximum students have already written the answer, because they are already familiar and very well practiced and revised with all these topics. So I should expect most the students have written the answers. Okay, let's see what the correct answer is. The correct answer is all of these. That means light colored clothes, cotton clothes, linen clothes are all convenient to wear in the summer season. We don't feel hot anymore if we wear these clothes, or we feel less hot if the weather is very hot, because these all are the very convenient clothes in the summer season. So all of these will be the option, that is option number D is the correct answer. Okay, So all of these is the correct answer, and I hope that you have already selected the same answer. If not, it is okay. Just try to correct your answer if you have written the incorrect answer. Now students, moving on to question B. So for those who are writing in rough book, you have to write the heading question B. Please give the heading question B in your rough notebook, either on the same page or on the new page. The choice is yours. Just make sure that whenever you send it, the handwriting should be legible, the content should be clearly visible. So please give the heading question B for those who are writing in rough book. For those who are just solving in the textbook itself, they don't have to do anything. So what is question B all about is write one word for the following. Write one word for the following. That means one word answer. So question B is all about give one word answer. So I hope you all are ready to solve this, and I hope that all the students, whether you are writing in rough book or you are writing in the textbook itself, at least you are solving each and everything properly. And that is the only reason why I display the answer in the lecture itself. Okay, so let's get started with question B. Number 1. Fibers obtained from either plants or animals. I repeat the statement. Try to think the answer. Fibers obtained from either plants or animals. So what will you give one word? What will be the convenient one word for this statement? Think about the answer, please. So I hope that at least those who are knowing this, those who remembered each and every lecture, those who have watched properly, they might have already written the answer. Anyways, if you have not written the answer, no worries. Here the correct answer is. So those are called the natural fibers. Okay, either you get from the plants or from the animals. Those fibers are labeled or indicated as natural fibers. Okay, now please repeat after me, students. I hope that you will repeat loudly and clearly. Fibers obtained from either plants or animals are called natural fibers. Clear enough? Okay. Moving on to number 2. The top layer of the earth. Think about the answer. This is very easy one. The top layer of the earth. I hope that you can answer this, because this is a very basic question. Okay, let's see what the answer is. Soil. As simple as that. Chapter number 4. So the top layer of the earth is called soil. I hope that you have written the same answer. If not, please write it down. And now please repeat after me. The top layer of the earth is called soil. Is called soil. Okay. So the spelling of cold, I have seen the books, I have seen the photos of the students who are sending me the homework. Whenever I say it's called, don't say cold. C-O-L-D and C-A-L-L-E-D are two different words. So here called C-A-L-L-E-D will be used. Don't get puzzled. Okay, moving on to number 3. Please pay attention here. Something made from dead plants and animals present in the soil. I repeat the question. Something made from the dead plants and animals present in the soil. This is clearly written in your textbook on the 3rd page. Something made from the dead plants and animals present in the soil. Think about the answer, please. Try to write the answer on your own before it is displayed here. Don't just keep the motto of copying it down from the screen. Anyways, let's see what the correct answer is. The correct answer is you must. If you can see that on the third, either on the third page or on the fourth page, the keyword is written humus, where it is clearly written that it is formed from the dead plants or animals. It is already present in the soil. Okay, so humus is the correct answer. I hope you have written the same answer, humus. If not, please write it down. Okay, number 4. The process by which a liquid changes into a gas. I repeat the question. The process by which a liquid changes into a gas. So this is the process. Please try to understand the statement and then write the answer. Think about the answer properly. Which is this process by which liquid changes into the gas? It was there in the 5th chapter diagram. It was clearly, everything was depicted in the diagram on the last page. Okay, so let's see what the answer is. The answer is evaporation. EVAPORATION, evaporation. Please write down the answer if you haven't written. The correct answer is evaporation. I hope that you have written the same answer. Anyways, if not, it's okay, you can write it now. So please repeat this after me. The process by which a liquid changes into a gas is called evaporation. Okay, I hope now you have written your answers, and those who have written your answers, I hope that you have corrected your answers if your answer is wrong. If it is right, you don't have to change anything. So I can even expect that maximum students are trying to solve these before I show the answer, because this is what we have practiced well and revised well. Anyways, now moving on to question C. Those who have rough book, you know what you have to do. You have to give this heading question C. Please give the heading question C. Okay, I hope you are giving the heading properly. So, question C. Now those who are having textbook, they can easily see where the question C is, and what are we supposed to do here in question C is true or false. What are we going to do? We are going to solve true or false. So I hope you all are ready, and I have already in every lecture I have told you that whenever true or false is there, you have to be careful. You have to read each and every statement, each and every word of the sentence, which makes it true and which makes it false. So you have to be very careful for this. Though it is very easy, it can even deduct your marks if you be careless for this. Okay, so now let's get started with question C. Number 1. We should touch electric switches with wet hands. Please read the statement properly and then try to write the answer. Those who are writing in rough book, I hope you are writing the answers before I display the correct answer. Here I have not written the answer, I am going to write it down with you people. So, we should touch electric switches with the wet hands. What will be the answer? The correct answer is false. The correct answer is false. We should not touch the electric switches with the wet hands. We should not touch the electric switches with the wet hands. So this statement is false. So answer is false. Okay, I hope that you have already written the correct answer. Okay, so please repeat this after me, students. Only one time we will repeat this. We should touch electric switches with wet hands. Answer false. Okay, moving on to number 2. The statement is, we wear dark colored woolen clothes in winter. What is the statement? We wear dark colored woolen clothes in winter. Is this true or is this false? Do we wear the dark colored woolen clothes? If yes, then write true. If no, then write false. So, the answer is true. We do wear the woolen clothes and the dark colored clothes in the winter season. So, this statement is true. That is why the answer is true. I hope that you have also written the same answer, because we have discussed whole lot of things about the clothes, when to wear, in which season to wear which clothes, and where do we get the clothes from, which type of clothes are there, and etc. etc. Okay, so please repeat this once after me. We wear dark colored woolen clothes in winter. Answer true. Okay, I hope that you have written the answer. For the students who are writing in rough book, please don't try to write this statement, because you will not get the sufficient amount of time. So once you get your textbook, you can write it from there, or you can watch the video again and again if you really want to write it. Anyways, moving on to number 3. Frogs and fish are animals that live in soil. Frogs and fish are animals that live in soil. So, what do you think? Is this true or is this false? Please think about the answer properly, and then I'll write the answer here. Frogs and fish live in the soil. This statement is false. Okay, have you seen the frogs and fish in the soil? No. So, even fish you can see in the water, never in the soil. If you take the fish out of the water, it will die. Okay, so it needs the water. So, this statement is false. I hope that you have written the answer. Now, let us repeat this one time loudly and clearly. Frogs and fish are animals that live in soil. Answer false. It does not live in the soil. Okay. Moving on to next, number 4. So let us read the statement of number 4. The process by which a solid changes into a liquid on heating is called evaporation. I repeat this statement. The process by which a solid changes into a liquid on heating is called evaporation. Now just imagine the example of this I will give you. Solid changes into liquid means what? Means ice changes into the water. Now is this called evaporation? Think about it. Just think carefully. Is this process where the ice changes into the water is called evaporation? So the answer is false. It is not evaporation, it is called melting, right? So the answer here is false, because changing of solid into liquid is not evaporation, it is called melting. That's why this statement is false, and I hope that you have written the answer. Okay, so please repeat this after me once. The process by which a solid changes into a liquid on heating is called evaporation. Answer false. Okay. Now students, kindly give the heading question D. Those who are writing in the rough book, please give heading. Heading should be very clear. Question D. Those who are writing in rough book, so that when you send us the picture, we will be able to recognize what you have written clearly. So your work should look tidy and clean. So even I am planning to display the pages of the students, those who have written neatly and with a good handwriting, good presentation. So let's see who will send with a good handwriting, good presentation. Now what we have to do here in question D is circle the odd one. Circle the odd one. So let's get started. Here I have just displayed the page of the textbook. So I'll zoom in and zoom out as per the requirement. You don't have to worry about it. So what you have to do, you have to circle the odd one as per the hint given in the brackets. So those who are having textbook, they already have this page. Those who are writing in rough book, just write the answers. I will just zoom in and zoom out as per your convenience. You don't have to worry about that. So here the first list is zebra crossing, subway, traffic light, switches. Now the hint is it is not used to cross the roads. Let me zoom in. Okay, which of these is not used for crossing the roads? Zebra crossing, subway, traffic light or switches? Obviously, switches are not used to cross the roads. So you need to circle or square this word switches. Do we use switches to cross the roads? No. In many ways we use zebra crossing, subway, traffic light. These are somewhat related, but we never use switches to cross the roads, do we? So no. So switches here is the odd one. This word is the odd one, so you need to circle that. So for those who are writing in rough book, you have to just write answer 1 and switches. SWITCHES, switches. Now moving on to number 2. Nylon, acrylic, polyester, silk. Hint is it is not a man-made fiber. It is not a man-made fiber. Nylon, acrylic, polyester, silk. Which of these is not a man-made fiber? So let us zoom in the picture, and the correct answer is silk. Silk is what we get from the silkworm, okay, which is natural, which is not man-made. So silk is the odd one here. So those who are writing in the rough book, please write the answer silk, because silk is an odd one. We do not get it from man. It is not man-made, it is natural. So for those who are just writing the answers in the textbook itself, it is very easy. You need to either circle or square the words which I have done. You can do it in your way, just you need to highlight those. Okay, the next one, third one, says that the list is first of all earthworm, snails, beetles, fish. Hint says that it does not live in soil. The hint says that it does not live in soil. So which is that? Earthworms, snails, beetles or fish? Which do you think is the correct answer? I hope that you are also thinking about the answers, and I hope that at least some students are trying to write the answers on their own and not just copying it here from the screen. Okay, anyways, the correct here, the odd one is fish. The odd one is fish, because fish, have you seen fish in the soil? See, in the previous question also we solved this. Fish do not live in the soil. Okay, it lives in the water. This is very, even the small kindergarten students know this. So anyways, this was very easy one. The last one is the list is oil, milk, air, water. The hint says that it is not a liquid. Let me just bring it into the center of the screen. This is not liquid. Oil, milk, air, water. Now this is also very clear. Air is not a liquid. It is a kind of gas. Okay. So other all, if you can see, oil is also liquid, which you use to cook the food or to pour in the head. Milk is also liquid. Water is also obviously a liquid. So it is very clear that air is not a liquid. So students, that was the end of our today's lecture. I know that few questions are yet to be done from your textbook unit test, but we, as per our time limit, we have solved all our objectives. Maybe in the next lecture I will even solve all the subjectives, because even the subjective test is left of subjective. So just be prepared with your textbook and rough book in the next lecture as well. Thanks for watching the lecture. Keep sending your work regularly to the teachers. Thank you. Goodbye.